President-elect Sridhar to escort our chief guest today. Welcome. Now, straight away we will go to the introduction of guest speaker because we are running out of time. I request Prahalad, the best friend, Suman, is going to introduce the guest speaker.
Mr. D.R. Prahalada, his father's name Ramchandra Rao. Happily married to Geeta. She is a housewife. Son Sumanta. He is working on fire and safety in Johnson Controls. And about Mr. Prahalad. He was born on 25th May 1962. And about his work experience, he joined in 1979. He joined the Indian Air Force. He served on in the VVIP movement. Later on, he has also participated in the IPKF operations in Sri Lanka. And in 92-93, when the terrorists are very active, he worked in Jammu and Kashmir. In 99 September, after the Kargil war, he preferred to become a civilian. So he came back to Bangalore. His hobby has been wildlife, and he has been very actively involved in rescue and rehabilitation of wildlife, especially reptiles, since the past 32 years. And he has single-handedly led the Forest Department project of campaigning against hunting of wildlife in the name of rituals in and around Bangalore in 54 villages. He regularly visits educational institutions to create awareness on wildlife through lectures and demonstrations. He has also served as a special police officer with Karnataka Police Department for full 2 years term and helped the police department in various ways. He has accompanied and educated hundreds of wildlife enthusiasts as a guide during trekking and forest camp. They include employees of IT/BT giants like Infosys, Wipro, Cisco, Biocon, etc. Here I introduce you, dear Mr. Prahalada. Welcome to you.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, and sweet kids at the back. So, today I am standing in front of you people with only one pure intention, that from today onwards, when you retire from this place, when you go back, you should be a different person, and you should have a different view towards the wildlife and especially the snakes. Because normally, the snake means it is death. Havu andre savu. But now I am here to change that idea and the concept. So I'll try my best. Hope it would be useful for you people. So in the process of explaining the things, if I use certain terms which is pertaining to pure wildlife and other this one, if you don't follow it, kindly stop me there, because I've been interacting with medical students and all those. So it is easily taken by them. And if you find any difficulty, please stop me there. So English is okay? English is okay. Okay, let's start. See, as you all aware, there are a lot of creatures in the nature. So among the creatures in the nature, the serpents are also one. And in the serpentine world, the snakes. Now let us concentrate only on the snakes. So now, welcome to snake world. So because serpent world is quite big, and now let us concentrate only on the snakes. So it is quite general. This one is, everybody will think that the snake is a harmful animal, useless animal, and it has to be destroyed at the very first sight. Is that right? No. So that is what, generally what the people think is, any snake is harmful, If it bites, we lose our fellow human. So, but after having experience with the snakes for 32 years, I very bravely I can announce anywhere, snakes are not harmful as human beings. Because unless you cause pain and threat to its life, no snake will bite on its own. I have hundreds of experience in my life. My son who is just sitting and operating the laptop, he has got very close interaction with the snakes which were left free in my home. Right from young age. So, gentlemen, now let us, we are running out of time, I will not take much of your time, to have a very quick review on that. So, all the snakes are not venomous, only few snakes. So, now if you compare the number of snakes which we had in India, it was about 800 plus, but now it is so unfortunate, hardly we can count it on fingertips. So the reason and to be blamed is again we, human beings. Because of our greed, we started killing snakes for its beautiful skin. We made our wallets, we made our belts, we made our vanity bags. So to meet all these needs, lakhs of snakes were sacrificed and exported. Till Wildlife Act 1972 was very strictly implemented. We could not put a stop to this. Okay, now the snakes, as it said, all the snakes are not venomous. The most of the snakes, what you interact, are non-venomous, harmless, so and they are of shy nature. So I'll show you all the photographs, which easily you can identify the venomous snakes, because that is what the man feels it is a threat to the human life. Otherwise, the rest are all easy go. Okay, now let us ask about this one is why we should have the snakes in the nature. Every creature has its own role to play in this world. So you will be astonished. So whatever the food grains are produced by our farmers, out of the 35 to 40% of the food grains are just wasted criminally. So you must ask how. So there are the rodents which are responsible for this. They neither eat, they just take and make the holes in the near to the fields and all. They just take the grains, store it there. It gets rotten and it will get destroyed. So to stop this rodent population, your poisoning, killing or nothing will work out. Only nature has got one more way of controlling it is the snakes. So reducing the snake population, increasing the rodent population. So that's how to save our own food for the future years. We need to have the snakes. That is one. And there are many medicines are made out of this snake venom. Snake venom is not meant alone for killing the humans. It has got a lot of medicinal values. So many cancer drugs are made out of it. And not only that, even the snake bite treatment is given by the medicine which is produced out of the snake venom. That is known as ASVS. That is anti-snake venom serum. So I'll tell you how it is prepared and all. So the population, as I said, there were more than 800 in India. In the world, there are about 3,000 plus. Now we know, obvious the reasons are 800 plus species. Now, for example, this cobra, vipers, crate, and all those, the species and subspecies, they were about 848 to be very specific. But now hardly we have anything to count on the fingers. So habitats, as we all know that they live in the termite mounds. They don't construct their own house like us. So they are dependent on the termites, which they construct the mounds and all. They live in that after killing that. The food habits, all the snakes are 100% non-vegetarians. There is no vegetarian snake. So locomotion, so there is a belief that snakes used to fly once, but still nobody has proved it. But now it crawl on the ground using the belly scales, underbelly scales, it crawl on the ground. So reproduction, there are many misconceptions about this. There is one particular species that is known as a rat snake. Kere havu anತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ? So kere havu ನಾಗರಾವು ಸೇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ. They say that the rat snake and cobra they mate, but it is wrong. So every species have male and female. That's why they produce the next generation. The senses. So people say that the snake don't have the ears. It is true. But scientifically, when you go very deep into that, they have the inner ears, which are not evolved to that extent of hearing or catching the external impulses. So their senses is again the belly scales. When they move on the floor, on the ground, with the vibration, they can sense almost up to 300 meters what is around. Then the second sense, very important sense is, you must have seen that snake always puts its tongue out, the split tongue. So the tongue picks up the chemical particles which is there in the air, and it goes inside the mouth and it touches one organ at the top of its head, that is known as Jacobson organ. So when it touches that chemical particles, it will get to know how far is its prey, and what is approaching is whether it is a friend or foe. So that is the main important sense organ. The food habits overall, the senses, the molting. So people say that the snake sheds skin. There is nothing very special attached to this. It is a very general happening in the snake world. The dead cells of the skin will form into a layer, and over a period of time, it just sheds it out. And the shed skin doesn't have any medicinal quality or any special quality. It is just because even in our this also every day we'll be losing the hair in the form of dandruff. All those cells will be dying, and the new cells will be forming. So same way it also happens in the snake, but it forms the layer. So that layer is the molting. So why snake bite? No snake will bite on its own. So most of the time you must have seen when you interacted with a snake, it will always try to keep off from the humans. So but when you are cornering it, or you are trying to hit it, or trying to kill it and cause the pain, so as a last resort, the snake will bite. Even before biting, it will give you sufficient warning, like cobra hisses. And even the Russell viper, there's a variety that hisses like almost gives a sound of a pressure cooker. To that extent, it will give you a warning and then only bite. So unless it is very simple that unless you cause pain or threat to its life, the snake will not bite. So that is one more, the self-defense, it's all covered in that. So now as I told that all the snakes are not poisonous. So most of the snakes are non-venomous, and venomous are very few, which very easily you can identify provided you keep looking at them, maybe in the TV. Or I'm sorry, sir, I forgot to bring the chart which we have made for the education in the schools and all. So I'll reach it to you. You can keep it in the club. So now the question is, why snakes should have the venom? Why not the humans? But friends, the humans also have the venom. You agree with me? Do you believe? If you want to test it, for heaven's sake, don't do it, but if you keep few grains of rice in your mouth in the night, and next day you spit it in front of any cock or hen, if it eats, it will die. The human is so poisonous. But don't try, please. You will be taking one life. So, but in the snake, there are three main functions of the venom. One is, like us, it doesn't have the limbs and all to catch or cut and eat its own food. So, one is immobilization of its prey, because it has to hunt and eat. So, in the process of immobilization, it has to inject a tiny quantity of venom into its prey and ensure that it is in anesthetic condition. In that condition, it will start swallowing. The second one is, it helps in digesting that. Only in the venomous, this one, the nature has given the system, digestive system, which calls for adding little venom into it, then only it will get digested. The third one is still debatable. It is protection against the predators like us. So these are the three main functions. So the types of venom, mainly, there are about 10 to 12 varieties, cytotoxic and all those very broadly, there are only two types of venom. One is neurotoxin, the other one is hemotoxin. The neurotoxin is nothing but which affects the central nervous system of the human when it gets bitten. So thereby, there will be a cardiac arrest and the victim will die. This is a simple one, this one. The other one is hemotoxin. Hemotoxin is which affects your RBCs, that is in the blood. It starts breaking up the blood cells. Finally, it will result in a lot of internal hemorrhages. Even it can result in kidney failure, and finally the victim may die. So these are the two main types of venoms what we have. So it is, now there are two types of venoms, but even the toxicity, when we come out to the toxicity, so that depends on a lot of the region. For example, if a cobra of Bangalore bites and if there is a bite of a cobra from Rajasthan, so Rajasthan cobra's venom is more toxic. So for that, there is one general explanation is the more and more you go towards the dry land, the toxicity increases. So we have no explanation for that. So then, as I told you that the effect is central nervous system and the blood. Now, very important thing what you learn is, see now as a Rotarians, you will be participating in a lot of social activities. Now, he announced that you have a pulse polio, this one and all. Probably when you are in that, unknowingly you may step over a snake. And one of your, God forbid, touch wood, nobody should have that. But if someone is bitten by a snake, so what you should do? How you can save a victim of snake bite? So for that, there is the first aid, if it is given, there is a belief that almost 60% that victim is saved. So how you will give the first aid? Anybody trained in the first aid here for the snake bite? Yeah, to a certain extent you are right, but it's not the right this one. I'll tell you what it is to be done is. May I request any one of you to come up here? Please.
It is the one species I'm most afraid of, so it is important for me.
Sir, don't mistake me, you are new member. Let us assume he is bitten by a snake today. Washing his hand, he was bitten by a snake. So we don't know what type of snake he is bitten by. So now what we should do is, we should start the first aid. So what is the first aid? As our friend said, Joseph. So we have to tie a tourniquet. So the tourniquet, where it has to be put? So in the earlier days, there was a belief, even in the defense also, there used to be a first aid training is, if you have any snake bite, take a knife and make a deep cut in that. If anybody resort to such practices, the victim will not die of snake bite, he will die of excess bleeding. So that is a fact of it. So now, the incising the bitten part is totally overruled. Nobody should cut, or even some people they suggest, you suck it out. And the person who is sucking it out, it is not that easy to suck out the poison which is already mixed with the blood. And in the process of sucking the venom, and if you have the gums injured or there is any wounds, so finish 1 month you may have to have a severe sufferings. So that is also rolled out. So only this one what you can do is, so if the Mr. Siddiqui, normally the bite happens in the hand, the most of this, because we'll try to pull something or we'll be doing some work. So then there are chances of snake bite on the hand. Otherwise, the next one is on the leg. So now let us assume it is bitten here. Now what we should do is, so the gentleman was mentioning that we'll put a tourniquet here, but I rule out that. For the very reason is,
Yeah.
see, snake has bitten here, but I prefer tourniquet here. So anybody now will have a handkerchief, other ribbon or even the thread or whatever immediately is available, take that and put a tourniquet here. No, I'll come to that. Simple. It looks very simple.
Yeah.
Why I'm putting the tourniquet here is, from this, the lower arm has got two bones. Two bones.
Two bones.
So in between two bones, there are a lot of arteries and veins are passing. So if the man is so unfortunate and it escapes and goes into the heart. So to avoid, there's only one single humerus bone at the top, which arrests almost about 90 to 95% of all the blood vessels. So putting here is much, much beneficial, and you can save a victim. And then next, what you should do is, so you are tied. So somebody said, put it very tight. So if you do that, so you are not doing any benefit to this gentleman. Instead, you are harming him. Because if more than 20 minutes, if it is totally the blood circulation is arrested here, his lower limb will start dying. So then what good you have done? So every human body, rather human skin, has got elasticity. You know, if you press even this one, it will come back, it will retain its own shape. So same way, using that quality of human skin, you should put it in such a, this one is, with one finger, you should be able to penetrate. So like this, and pull it out. So that allows a limited circulation of the blood and keeps the complete limb intact and everything. So after tying this, immediately what you should do is, wash the bitten part with lot of soap and water. You must ask, why soap and water? See, when you are doing the continuous movement of rubbing on the hand, there will be a friction. Because of friction, the skin may get damaged. So to avoid that, you apply the soap, which gives the lubrication. Then the water, because with the water, when you are washing, there venom which is collected on the surface. So the surface absorption will be reduced. And always it is the downward movement. So when you are moving the downward movement with little pressure on that, so whatever the venom has come up to this position, this portion, will automatically get squeezed out. For example, you all must be having the experience of giving the blood, maybe blood test.
Yes.
So after the withdrawing the blood, they put a small cotton, this one, and they'll ask you to hold like this. So that means blood has got the quality of clotting. So using that quality, and after that, if you don't put it in a right way, if you start pumping your hand again, maybe after 1 minute, the blood will start oozing out from the same. So similarly, what we are trying to do is, the blood has clotted on the bitten part, but we are trying to open that again by squeezing it down. So thereby, whatever the excess venom is in the body will get drained out, so that it is easy for a physician to continue the treatment. Thank you. This one, ASVS. ASVS is anti-snake venom serum. So how it is prepared is, I told you that in the beginning that it is prepared after the snake venom. What the scientists will do in the research institutes, they have a lot of snakes in the farms. So they extract the venom from various snakes, potentize it, rather dilute it, and inject it to a horse. Why horse? Because horse has got the maximum natural resistance power on this earth among all the living beings. So they inject the potentized venom into the horse, and the horse will develop the immune level. So they bring the immune level to that level, they'll make a snake to bite again directly. So that is also neutralized by the horse blood. So when it reaches that level of immunity, the blood is drawn, then there is a serum is separated. Now in the blood, the serum is there. The serum is separated, freeze-dried and stored separately for the treatment of it. So it is only assistance given to the blood again. So when there is a bite and venom got mixed into the blood, the serum goes and neutralizes it. That's it, is the ASVS, anti-snake venom serum. There are two types of ASVS. One is monovalent and other one is polyvalent. For example, if the anti-venom is prepared, it is known as anti-venom, and in the medical term they call anti-venin also. So if it is prepared with only one type of snake's venom, it is monovalent and it is 100% effective. So most of the snake bite cases will not be able to identify what type of snake has bitten. Maybe a cobra, maybe a viper, maybe a crate. So in such confused state, there is this one is a polyvalent. They extract the poison from, venom from 4 major venomous varieties of the snakes, potentize, inject it and produce the ASVS. So that is also helpful in most of the cases. So after the first aid, immediately what you should do is, so you should say that even if you know that a person is bitten by a venomous snake, but always at the back you should say, "Arey, chodo yaar, that is a bloody rat snake. Kuch nahi hota hai." So thereby you are boosting his morale, because so people normally they ask, so if a snake bites, how long a person can survive? Nobody on this earth can say this, because it depends on what type of snake has bitten, how much quantity of venom it has injected, what is the toxicity of the venom, and what is the physical and mental condition of the victim. Because if I am bitten by a cobra, I am sure I will not die. Whereas an unknown person, if he is even bitten by a rat snake, he may collapse. I have seen that one person when I was in Gwalior, he died of a rat snake which even doesn't have even the smell of venom. He died because of the fear. So now coming to the blind beliefs, around the snake, probably there is no other thing in the world which has got so much of blind belief on that. Probably nothing, only the snakes. Because of our the cinemas, the Nagin, then Nagarahavu. So people believe that how 12 ವರ್ಷ ದ್ವೇಷ ಸಾಧಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಬರೀ ಪಿಕ್ಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. So what I was telling was, no snake's brain is evolved to that extent it can take revenge and remember up to 12 years. That there is a belief in our place. So it can remember up to 12 years. It will take your photo in the eye. And always if you kill the mating snakes, the husband is killed, rather the male is killed, and the female will come and look into its eyes. So get the photocopy of this one, then it will take the revenge on those people, those are responsible for killing it. Sir, it is all in the picture, not in the reality. If that would have been the reality, thousands of snakes would have come behind me. So you can just imagine 32 years, how many thousands I have been rescuing in this one, all types of snakes. So it's all myth, there is no reality on that. So then there is one, this one is, especially in the northern India, whenever there is a bite, there are people those who do this mantras. But you can believe the people those are practicing mantra along with some herbs. Definitely there is a cure. Because I don't contradict whether it is a mantra or herb, but herb definitely works. Because I have seen recently one of my friends' brother was bitten by a viper. And after 48 hours, he has been given with some herb and mantras. But he has been cured to that level that doctors couldn't believe it. Because in the viper bite, there will be a local symptom as well as the main symptom of taking the life away. But it has even addressed the local symptoms, which normally turns into gangrene. But even you can't make out that bitten mark also on his body now. So the mantra with herb is fine to a certain extent if it's the real one. Then the pseudomedicos, the people, they say that we'll cure this one and all, we'll again chanting mantras. See, how it works is the human psychology. So if I'm a, Kattadiya or the chanting person and a victim is brought to me, if that person is bitten by a non-venomous snake, and I do a lot of dancing and all those things, rituals, so the person will walk off because I'm boosting his morale and there is no venom in his body. This news will spread almost up to 10 to 20 villages around. Prahlad has cured that snake bite case. But if the victim is really bitten by a venomous snake, he dies at my doorstep, I will say only one thing. The eyes mugdagitappa. That was his lifespan. So that will not even go to the next street. ಯಾರೋ ಹಾವು ಕಚ್ಚಿ ಸತ್ತೋದ್ರ ಅಂತ ಬಿಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. So this is how what happens in our society, what generally. So please don't believe all those things. Please approach only the doctors. Then there is a belief that the snakes, especially the cobras, will carry a very precious stone on its head, and in the night it will keep in one place and start hunting. Sir, what happens for the snakes which doesn't have that money? So they will go for, they must be, die of fasting. So I have been sleeping in a lot of old forts, then graveyards, so old places. I'm yet to come across even a single Nagamani. So it's again a myth. Even if some people, they say that the venom which is there in the snake body, over a period of time it turns into a precious gem. This is a pure enzyme, the snake venom. And this one is a carbon compound, the diamond or precious stone. So absolutely there is no relation between them. So it's again a myth. So then the people, they used to ask me, sir, you catch snakes, no? You must be making a lot of money. So how? So you can extract the venom and sell it out. So this is also again a myth, scientific myth. If a snake venom is not withdrawn under lab conditions, it goes waste in just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, it has to be processed in the laboratory. Yes, if it is processed in the laboratory, and if I am having the license to do that, there is a value for that. Otherwise, it is just waste. So there is also again a myth. Then the medicinal value, yes, there are a lot of medicinal value. As I told you, lot of the medicines, even for this rheumatoid arthritis, there are a lot of medicines which are developed of late now from the snake venom. So let us not go very deep into it, but there are a lot of medicinal qualities in the snake venom, it is, apart from killing the man. Then the multi-hooded snake. You must have all seen on the email a lot of photos with the 5 hoods, 7 hoods. Kuke Subramanyadalli 5 Nagra bandittu. But if you see the reality, it is all, somebody's mischief using that animation. In reality, absolutely there is no chance of 2-hooded snake also. Yes, there are sometimes, like we find that even in the humans, the conjoined baby is born. So 1 body and 2 heads, or 1 body or 3 legs, and all those things. It is the nature's mistake. Otherwise, there is no species which is having always 2 heads. It is not possible in the nature. So all the snakes having only 1 hood, 1 head. So it's also again a myth. Oh, sorry. Okay, sir. Sir, you must be having some ancestral property. Sir, normally what happens is, in our ancestral property or whatever the place we buy it for building the house, we go in for that Bhumi Puja and then start digging for putting the foundation. So in the process of digging for the foundation, so one snake, probably it will escape or it gets killed, because earlier it was its habitat. So it gets killed. So you have seen that, okay, one snake was there in this place, it has got killed or it escaped. Or anyone like me, they come and rescue it. So that's ended. So next day or maybe the 3rd day, when you further go down, you will find 1 pot full of gold coins. So this 3 days episode is mixed together, and you will come to a conclusion. Because there was a hidden treasure here and the snake was taking care of it and it was guarding it. Sir, it is not working for any security agency. It has got its own this one. So this type of incidences will give a wrong ideas about, rather wrong concepts about the snakes. So otherwise it has got nothing to do with the hidden treasure. Okay, now you can take a look at some of the snakes. which I have interacted, and in your life also it is possible. Because I got caught snakes from Vidhan Soda, I caught snakes from High Court. Then even if you will not believe, there are certain snakes still surviving in your Kempegowda bus stand, Majestic. You will be surprised. It will be there, sir, it will be. Because, see how it works is, it is a food chain. So we take, for example, today we had dosa and bhaji. So only 3/4 of a bhaji I eat and I throw it out. So it attracts the rodents. So the rodent is a food for the snake. So that's how the food chain is completed and they survive. No, sir, I am not permitted. So these are all the non-venomous, very common snakes, what we come across in every day. So this is a rat snake. Probably everybody must have noticed. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆರೆ ಹಾವು, ಹಿಂದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದಾಮಣ ಆರ್ ಘೋಡಾ ಪಿಚಾಡ್, rat snake, ಚಾರೆ ಪಾಂಬು. Yes, sir, it grows almost up to 10-12 feet. Very healthy North Indian rat snakes. Sir? No. Kerav is very big one. Non-venomous, big variety. Next to the pythons. So this is banded racer. Unfortunately, if you see one in your lifetime, you would be very lucky. Yes. It has almost gone to the extinction. There is a belief that if you make one horse and this snake to run in a parallel lane, this will overtake the horse. So that's why it is known as Ghoda Pichad. In Hindi they call Ghoda Pichad. So it can just leave the horse behind. So it's a banded racer, but racer. This normally when you go to a small pond or many religious places, the rivers and all, so you will find that a small snake, swimming in the water. Neer havu. Common ಆಗಿ ನೀರು ಹಾವು ಅಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Yes, sir? ನೀರು ಹಾವು. ಕಾಮನ್ ನೀರು ಹಾವು. ಸೊ ಇವನ್ ಮೀನು ಹಿಡಿಯೋರು, ಏಡಿಕಾಯಿ ಹಿಡಿಯೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕಚ್ಚಿತು ಅಂತ ಹಿಡಿದು ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಒನ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಮನ್. ಸೊ ನಾನ್ ವೆನಮಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ pained, it will also not bite readily. This is one which of late you must have seen in the TV that in the same family, that anaconda, a person tried doing all the tricks of getting into its stomach. I don't know what made him to take such a foolish this one. Because we have so much of high resolution MRI scans and all those things. What he wanted to see by going inside. No, this also doesn't have poison, sir, but this is very dangerous because, so without sufficient people to help you, if you provoke this snake, it will catch you and coil around. It is so strong, you can hear your own bones are breaking. So that's how it swallows later. So you can hear your own bones are breaking. So it is so powerful, they are known as constrictors. So they kill their prey, even a huge deer is made into a small lump by this constriction. So their constriction. So this is a wolf snake. Again, it's a very common. Still, we are lucky we can see a lot of wolf snake, especially your garages and all those. If you don't go on regular this one, if you keep it closed for about a month or so, and there will be small frogs which make their home. To eat the frogs and all, such snakes will, there are possibility of coming, but it is non-venomous. You can clearly see that the parallel bands. Just see this, I will show you another snake, then you can compare. Because it is mistaken for a highly venomous snakes, but it is not venomous. You can see that the bands, how distant apart. So probably this trinket. So ladies would love to have some ornaments. Abharana how? Abharana is nothing but jewelry. If you see that the total this one on the body, it resembles a wonderful necklace. So, of course, it is all, the imaginations of the people. So this is also very common shield tail. If you just probably in your gardens also you will find it is a harmless and it won't bite also. Yeah, more or less it is lethargic only. So this green keelback, there is one controversy because I have seen one in Bangalore Cubbon Park. But otherwise, this particular species is endemic to our Western Ghats. Western Ghats. But I have seen in Cubbon Park. I have a photographic support for that, but still people they deny that it is not possible. So it is endemic to our Western Ghats. Let us leave it to Western Ghats and let us not bring it to Bangalore. So this is striped keelback. So you'll find that little difference in the non-venomous water variety. This is also one of the water variety. The striped keelback you can see right from the top till the tail end. It is running parallel lines. So this way you can identify this particular snake. And it is also harmless. So this, when you go to our Nagarhole, Bandipur, or any of the other religious places, you will find that otherwise even the grave yards, So you will find that these green snakes will be hanging. So, and this snake also a very innocent snake, which has got a lot of bad story behind it. People believe that it pricks your eye. But if you touch that nose tip, it is softer than a flower. And absolutely it cannot harm you. There is a wrong belief in it, and it won't bite also. Even a small child can handle this very comfortably. So, common kukri, this is also non-venomous, which has got a very identifiable bands and a very thin snake, and it grows almost about 1.5 feet. So, very commonly you can find even the parks and all. So, don't get scared when you look at this. Okay. Now, it's a very important part of this one is which compulsorily you have to identify because they carry the venom. 100% everybody here can identify this because it has got a very special feature. So when it is provoked or even when it is approached, it will raise its hood and will start hissing. So warning that don't come here. I'm the boss here. No, it cannot fly. It can only strike. See, there is one belief that snake will fly. That is not actually knowledge. This one is, see the snake body, it squeezes into like a spring and releases at one stretch. So it jumps from one tree to other tree. So there you will feel that it is flying. Otherwise, it doesn't have any wings to fly. So this is, the cobras also have almost about 8 to 10 varieties. This is one at the back, if you see the hood, there is one, 2 eyes, the spectacle mark. So this is known as Indian spectacle cobra. And in our, the eastern India, West Bengal, Assam and all, you will find one variety that is known as monocle cobra. So instead of this spectacle, you will find only one eye. So that is monocle cobra. And if you go towards Rajasthan, there are snakes which doesn't have any hood mark. But all the cobras are in one family known as Naza Naza. And these, the cobras are neurotoxins, which affects your central nervous system, thereby seizing the respiratory system. So, friends, my special this one is, I told you that earlier this one, you remember the bands, and see the bands difference in this. This is the most deceiving snake. So, unless you are sure, please don't take chance with such snakes. Because this venomous snakes, the toxicity of venom is very high, and instantly you will not have any symptoms, either bodily or in the local symptoms. But the onset of symptoms will start probably after 3 to 4 hours, and it is so rapid, it will take a man to coma in 15 minutes. And once the man reaches coma, it is very, 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 very difficult to retrieve him back to normalcy. So should be very, very, very careful about this, especially the common crate. Kattavu antivu Kannadadalli, Kattuviriyan in Tamil. Then this is again king cobra, so which we don't have in the Bangalore or any of the other places. It is endemic to again Western Ghats. Western Ghats, right from Orissa to Assam, then further up. Arunachal Pradesh also less, sir, because you need to have that evergreen forest. Wherever you find the evergreen forest, there are possibility of king cobra surviving there. So king cobra, the quantity of venom which can store is almost about 60 ml. So it can at a stretch kill about 80 adults. So this is just for information. So this is the largest venomous snake in the world, you can say, because now they claim that the African mamba. But this one has got much more quantity of venom than the mambas. The Typhon is a small snake of Australia, inland tapirs. Sir, king cobra, normally the baby itself will be around 4.5 to 5 feet, which can grow up to almost about 24, 25 feet. So what I have handled in my life is about 13.5 feet. Double the height of mine. Yes. These snakes are purely this one is. No, Shiva is having normal spectacle cobra because it would be too long to coil around. So, and one more, this one, as I was mentioning, was the other type of venom, the hemotoxin, which affects the blood, is this particular family. In the Western countries, you will come across the rattlers, the rattlesnake, in the same family, but these snakes won't rattle because the tail formation is not that. But these snakes are also highly venomous, and every day I wish, rather I pray, even my deadliest enemy should not be bitten by this. Because we can save the victim, but the local symptoms like the necrosis, which turns into cellulitis later, and sometimes it has resulted in amputating the limb itself. Such a dangerous, this one with the venom is, it will totally destroy your blood. So it will also give you a sufficient warning. It will give very loud hissing like a pressure cooker. So if you see this snake, just keep off. Very rarely you will come across, but it is very common snake we can find in Bangalore. In Bangalore. There are a lot of vipers around Bangalore. One I rescued in Jayanagar, 4th block. Sir? It depends, the moment I look at a snake, there are a lot of things which I have to make study. How stressed is a snake? If it is a very calm condition, then we can just pick it up with a hand. And if it is very stressed and readily it starts biting, then I may have to use one stick to just keep its head apart and lift him up and put him in a bag. No charming, sir. You can't charm a snake. Snake charmers, okay. So I'll come to the interactive session. In that we'll discuss that. So this is one, wherever you find that bamboo plantation, normally you will find that this is also a type of viper, but slightly less toxic than the Russell viper. But the same venom composition is the same. This is endemic to Malabar in the Kerala. See, if you look at that, this one is a small blue portion just below the eye. That is a thermosensor which nature has given only to this particular snake. It can sense almost up to 300 meters, the variation of 2 degrees, up to 300 meters. Variation of 2 degrees it can sense. So that's why it is known as a thermosensor. So with that sensing ability, it can make out that where it's the bandicoots or rats or the birds, where it is hiding and all, it can very easily sense. So then it will go on hunting them. So this is also in the Malabar region of Kerala, a lot of this one. No, it is a temperature, the temperature, the thermal variation. See, now from here, if I want to sense your body, probably you may have about 96 degrees. I mean, so if it becomes 98, I'll get to know it by standing here. So that type of thermosensors. So this one is Saskal vipers. Again, the more you will find in the desert area, the Rajasthan, then the northern Gujarat and all those places. But very rare in other places because, they can't survive so easily. Like, they get small insects and all in deserts. They survive on that. But in this place, they can't catch the larger prey and survive, and they don't get smaller prey here. So the scientific approach for conservation is again the same, what I explained in the beginning. So snakes are also needed in the world. So let us have a very scientific approach to it, and let us stop killing it. So one more, this one is now, see, now you all go for a picnic. In the morning, you all enjoy in one place where a lot of green trees, then you put all that jhula and all that you enjoy. So you are making a night stay there. In the night, when you want to go for your nature call, you have to cross that particular tree. How many will be dare to cross that tree in the night? Hardly 1 in 100. Probably. In the day, broad light, you sat under the tree, you had your food, you enjoyed, you played, everything you have done. But in the night, when you have to cross that particular tree and go for nature call, you'll be afraid. Because our childhood indoctrination for such the wrong beliefs is so strong, we assume that that tree is a bhoot, is a devil. So now, the same way even for the snakes also, right from childhood. So we have been taught like that. The snake means, havu means savu. Hey, havu atra hogbeda. Havu kachute. Satoktiya. So now let us come out of that particular, the wrong beliefs and concepts, and let us see the snake world in a very scientific manner. Hope it will be done from today. So this human-snake conflict is, the moment we see any snake, take a stick, kill it off. So we are safe. Let anything happen to the nature. So that's what is the snake-human conflict. See, now what happens is, now in the process of escape, keeping yourself safe, if you injure a snake and leave it half dead, I'll tell you, it dies such a painful death, because there will be a lot of ants which will cover into that. And every second, every moment, the ants will be biting it alive. And that poor snake has to tolerate that pain till it dies. So let us not get into that. In case you want to kill a snake and it is half dead, I pray, please kill it off. Give a relief to it. So that is what is the very reality of the conflict. So this is how some photos of the rescue. If you see that the rat snake, you said the small, 1 feet, 2 feet and all, this was around 8 feet plus. And I am holding a mid body. This only to give the messages, If a snake is handled gently, if you show some a passionate touch and love, they will not bite. So I have left both tail and head portion free, and it did not bite me. The next one is this, the cobra handling, but but please don't try it out. So if somebody is interested, I can share this one whenever I go for rescue. But on your own, please don't try, because it can be harmful. So now the interactive session. Sir? They don't have the ear, the external ear, they cannot sense. So under such circumstances, so even if you see that sapera, when he's playing and the snake is dancing, it is not to the tune of that bean or the pungi. He will be moving around holding it. So to escape from that, it assumes that he may harm me. So that will try to dance to that. And I have recorded the bean. And it's a challenge, I throw an open challenge. Put it in a tape recorder, put it in a very high volume. And I will leave my cobras. Let us see if even one cobra lifts its head. Sir, sapera is actually a tribe who survive only on keeping such defanged cobras. They catch the cobras, remove the fangs and all, and they survive on that. And they never allow any snake to die in their because they realize, okay, this snake is about to die. They leave it just, and they go and catch the other one, fresh one.
Is it true that snakes is a habitat being prevented?
Yeah, that's what it got.
Suppose it's bitten.
Sir, the snake brain is not evolved to that extent. It is having only the capacity to remember, or rather to feel hunger, thirst, and its reproductive needs. So otherwise, its brain is not evolved to that extent of remembering something and taking revenge. That is not reality. Even in the scientific, this one also very small brain. ಸರ್ ಸರ್ಪದೋಷ ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಒಂದು ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಇದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 82 ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾವುಗಳು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ. 82 countries, they worship snakes in one or the other form. So they will have their own beliefs and all those things. So talking anything about such beliefs will be again contradicting or this one. So if somebody believes and if it gives him a relief, sort of relief, so get relieved of any sarpadosha or anything, nothing stops. Unless you are ready to shell your some amount of money and get relief. Till such time it is okay. Sir?
Chinese, they eat snakes. They are known for eating snakes.
Sir, snakes that also they eat in a very cruel way. What they do is they chop off the head. So they know that the venom is only in the head portion. They chop off that and rest. They believe that eating snake will give you more natural resistance power, and in especially the males, the increase in the potency. But otherwise, any snake flesh has got as nutritional values as equal to a fish, nothing more than that. Really, sir? Yes, madam? See, even in the defense also, when we underwent this commando training, so we were taught. So if you are lost in the jungle and you don't have anything to survive on, naturally you have to survive on whatever you get. Yes, sir.
This cobra and all, they directly swallow jinky and other. So we will have so much of digestion power to digest the bones.
Yes, sir. Actually, what happens is, bones and all will, as I told you, that they kill the prey by constriction. So when the huge deer, when it is in the normal shape, so when it is crushed and made into a lump, it goes like a gunny bag inside, and everything will get digested. But the pieces of bone, hair, and your nail, all these things will be coming out as excreta.
And how long it can live?
If it takes one large deer, probably it can survive almost about 5-6 months. So, and in the normal, any snake, in the northern India especially, during the rainy season, they are quite active. Because during the rainy season, the lot of frogs and other things are produced. And they'll keep on eating and putting their the fat in their body. During the winter season, they go for hibernation. They'll go into the deep underground holes. For 2 to 3 months, they'll be comfortably sleeping there, burning their stored energy. Respiration, they need very less oxygen. They go very deep into the earth, and with very less oxygen, they can survive. And there, the termite mounds and all, it is so wonderfully designed. Even today's our engineers cannot construct such a wonderful AC system. If you just insert one thermometer tied to a thread and leave it, just watch, it will be far lesser than the normal temperature, and it will be comfortable all over. And it survives in that stage.
How many years a snake can be like?
Sir, in wild, nobody has seen or nobody can tell any of this one. But in captivity, cobra has survived almost about 22 years. And crate has survived for 18 years. And the Russell viper has survived for 13 years. But in the wild, no, because yet the lot of studies yet to take place on the world of snakes.
And how many times it breathes? What is the cycle of breathing per minute?
It is far lesser, sir. Like if you see this, the tortoise, they come on the surface of the water, they take full breath, they go very deep in. And probably after 5-10 minutes only they'll come back. So likewise, they can, probably we have not measured it, but it can hold the breath for long. ಸರ್ ಉಸಿರು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬಾಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಹಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಹಾನಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬಾಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷ ಇರೋದು ಓನ್ಲಿ ಚೇಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಯಾವ ಹಾವುಗೂ ಬಾಲ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕೆರೆ ಹಾವನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದು ಅವ್ರ ಜಡೆಗೆ ಮುಟ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಹಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೋದ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟೋದ ಜಡೆ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Over a period of time, as it grows, it becomes darker. No, it doesn't have the camouflaging capacity, abilities they don't have. No, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, suddenly you encountered a snake and you cornered him. Okay, you don't know. See, in that corner there's a cobra. Suddenly you are rushed to that place unknowingly, and it raises its sword and stops. So only this one is just for minutes. Stand totally immobile. Don't even. No, you can breathe, but don't make. Because any movement, and if you are wearing any dark color pants or trousers, you are heading for trouble. Because all the snakes are colorblind. And if any dark color is approaching their eye, they will feel offended and strike readily. Yeah. Only 1 minute. Oh, you closed, huh? No. Only one 30-second video. See, till such time I picked it up and brought it, it was quite comfortable. See, now when I bring my closer, it will strike. Did you see that? Because I am wearing a black pant and it was close to it. that is what is. Sir, I'll tell you, these are all, I don't know, the persons, probably in the olden days, where you used to have a very thick jungle around. So, running zigzag or running straight would have been possible. But otherwise, when an elephant is chasing you, I don't think that you will have so much of working on your brain that, but there is only one technique, definitely you can escape from the elephant attack, because many times I have interacted in a very close quarter. You just get down into a slope, downwards. The elephant will not follow. So otherwise, if you try to climb, yes. Very fantastic question. See, in nature, this, there is one, this one is the animals which can feed their offsprings or babies with the milk. So snake is not blessed with such, this one by the boon by the nature. So there is no milk which is given to its offspring. The moment it is all hatched from the egg and they go on their own way for survival. So under such circumstances, any snake drinking milk is a myth. Actually what they do is, during this Naga Panchami, they catch the cobras or other snakes, they put it in an earthen pot, the madke, they put it in that, they don't give even a drop of water to it. So once a snake is thirsty for 15 days, after that if you offer not only the milk, anything you offer liquid, there is a tendency of licking and so that's it. Otherwise there is no reality in this one. Otherwise for its normal, the liquid requirement, it may lick few drops, not more than that. No. That's what, either it is a water or milk to, quench its thirst. Thirst, it will lick only few drops of it. That's it. Sir, thereby you are not doing any good to the snakes. You are harming them. I'll tell you what happens is, in the termite mound, you are pouring a lot of milk, then haldi, kumkum and all. So this haldi, kumkum, when it is mixed with the milk, it becomes a paste. And it gets sprinkled inside the termite mound. And if 2 drops happens to fall on the nostrils of the snake, it will get dried up and the snake will die of respiratory failure. You are blocking its respiration. So you are not doing anything good by that. Because already the area is totally, fantastically engineered place where the snake is living. So there is no need of putting a milk or whatever into that. This one, there is no. So kerosene is an irritant. It causes the skin irritation. Even if for humans, if you are not exposed to the kerosene for a longer time, and if you put few drops of kerosene on your hand also, you just see there will be irritation and dryness. So the similar effect will be there on the snake also. Otherwise.
Thank you, Mr. Prahlad.
Just shared my experiences. That's all.
Whatever you thought about the snakes, as you earlier rightly said, so you changed our mind. Now we have something better knowledge about the snakes, how to approach and how to take care of the snakes. So thank you very much, sir. Now friends, new members, Siddiqui and Joseph, this is I think you were happy today by looking at the weekly meeting. So this is the scenario in every weekly meeting. So we keep coming for weekly meetings because we have this kind of speakers. So you will gain your knowledge. Some speakers will entertain your knowledge, presence. So kindly support others also join and that makes every weekly meeting
You are the coordinator of this program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I request Mr. Srinath to please come out here. He's been recording the program. Please accept a small moment for our team. I'd like to thank all the members who are present here, our past president, Mr. Umesh, but thank you so much for coming here, sir. You've been regularly encouraging us, and also our immediate past presidents. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming. And Mr. Sridhar, very nice of you to come out here. All the members who have been present here, specifically the